Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. Today with another sin. It's as if they are fun to do or something. No, that's bad. Anyway, I always start these videos by saying this is not like a serious video. We're just gonna tell stories about examples of this problem or this sin, and it's going to be kind of like a very relaxed video. I'm not gonna talk like seriously or you know, yeah. Our like today's sin is gluttony. It's kind of fun because like the rest of the sins, let me check. So you have wrath and envy. Yeah, I mean, okay, so wrath is fine, but envy is kind of where we're at. Anyway, gluttony. Gluttony, the sin of rapidly consuming companies that churn out new features at all costs while creating a mess of unmaintainable code under the hood. Like gluttony, it feels good at first. Look at all this progress, but leads to a bloated, sick, and immobile project. And that is what happened to the front end of the project that I was kicked from. If you don't know what happened, check the last video. But yeah, basically, it's this is like mainly a management thing where they really like to add a lot of features, and they don't think about the underlying cost. In software engineering, it's called technical debt, and that's when you add things while also accumulating debt behind. One of our okay, let's start with first our decision to create like a custom event sourcing management event store thing was mainly because of the solutions we tried to implement. All of them had like some interesting, a lot of downsides basically. So initially we were using like RabbitMQ, but then we decided to use an outbox pattern where like each service has its own events database, like two events. It's outgoing as incoming data events. Say 2 days. Yeah, it's like now it's more technical and it's not more stories. Anyway, and this bus is like just a virtual bus. It doesn't exist. It's like a our event store, accessing each database and just like saving. Okay, technically the input is here. Okay, accessing each database and like saving to its own massive events database, and then also giving the events required to the other services. And yeah, that's basically how we did it. And so, but we do two things. So we store, and also it works like a RabbitMQ where it gives. But the underlying thing is just basically a background worker that loops and just like gets latest events, sends them to services. If they are relevant, they are handled. If they are not, they are ignored. And yeah, so the service each time keeps getting like the latest. Well, basically, it reads from here. Basically, it reads from its own inbox thing. So it reads from the inbox, handles it on the inside, and then if something interesting happens, well, I don't think anything. It's not this complicated. This actually was very helpful in the short term, and it should still be helpful with a lot of like with some, what do I say them, like some optimizations, but it's kind of a bit difficult to optimize something like that. It's quite a complicated system. I just try to oversimplify it, but it's a little bit more complicated in the implementation that I think, or than I'm saying. If I remember correctly, I think it's, if you look at it long enough, it will become simpler or simple. Yeah, technical debt. It's kind of interesting. And another thing of gluttony is adding features at the expense of time to refactor or to write out documentation or to add unit testing or tests, things like that. Because a lot of managers, especially the ones we were dealing with, they didn't like unit tests. So it was kind of their Achilles heel, if I say so. They really didn't like it. Okay, they said, well, We need to focus on features more than testing because we don't care about testing. And I was like, no, actually, testing will help you in the long term because you will at least know if something goes wrong. Uh, like you don't need to test it in front of manually and everything. We just can do like unit tests, integration tests. I don't know, whatever else tests, and then we see the problems where they are exactly. Um, there's like one of the old design, I don't know, it's just like design architectures, whatever it's called, where it's kind of reverse waterfall, I think. So instead of starting from the top with the feature requirement and everything, it's like you start from the bottom with tests first. I think it's test first design or something. Does it exist? Let me search. Test first development. Yeah, I think it should exist, I guess. Well, in a sense, yeah. I like diagrams. Let's see what this diagram says. Okay, thanks to my super fast hmm. Anyway, we go back to our main topic. Yeah, test driven design or something like that, or test first design. Um, yeah, these are like a lot of the cases where adding more features will only accumulate debt, and if you don't handle that debt in some sort of sense, like testing, documentation, or even refactoring, eventually, it will be bad in the long term. That's what happened to the front end. It was like super vibe coded that it was unmaintainable by the new team, that it caused them to be like slow, and then got kicked out. On our end, we weren't slow. We were just rug pulled in a sense. Our accounts were just like deleted out of nowhere. I was kind of asleep, and I got woken up by the notification. They don't have a lot of apps active. Okay, I don't activate the notifications for a lot of apps. I only have it for mail and probably Telegram. Uh, if I'm in the morning, if it's late at night, I just close them. And I got woken up by the Gmail notification that my account was deleted. I mean, it wasn't surprising. We were actually doing a meet with. So we are four members, and we were doing a meet, and then one of us like disappeared randomly. it's it's kind of funny, not even lie. He was just like, phew, and he disappeared, and we thought he like lost internet, but no, he sent us like a screenshot where his account actually is deleted. And then another member, like a few, like 30 minutes after or so, he got also removed, and then I was removed at night, and also the other member was removed. It's kind of funny. Still, well, it's a good experience. I mean, we now know that a lot of these people are scammers, and yeah, these they will eventually like refactoring, testing will always come back and bite them in the ass eventually. Yeah, that's what gluttony is at this point. At least in my honest opinion, seven deadly sins of programming. Yeah, hope you're not doing well. Thank you for watching. I know a lot of these videos aren't like the previous three, like the first three were kind of funny because I was like a little bit motivated, but these ones I'm like just a little bit depressed because of what happened. Those I wasn't paid. It's kind of a large amount, I'm not gonna lie, specifically from my country. This is gonna help me get married probably. But yeah, regardless, it's it is what it is. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, I guess.